Cardi B rails against the terrible policies of the least free state in the union. Deja vu. Biden's poll numbers have gone down yet again, and hope for humanity comes from Argentina's Javier Milei. I'm Mike Huckabee with your November 21st edition of The Breakdown. If you get to the end of the video and find it informative, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel just by hitting the subscribe button below, and be sure to click the notification bell. The Cato Institute released its annual freedom rankings of the 50 states based on how each state's policies impact economic, social, and personal freedom. And in that regard, New Hampshire came in number one as the most free state, followed by Florida. At the opposite end, the good news for California, it didn't rank as the least free state. No, it was just number 48, just ahead of Hawaii, number 49, and the least free state in America, New York, at number 50. Obviously, this doesn't mean that you can't get free stuff in New York, because illegal immigrants are getting tons of free stuff. It does mean that New Yorkers are burdened by high public debt, high state and local taxes, voracious government consumption of resources, and oppressive land use and labor policies. Wealthy residents of New York City pay among the highest combined state and local taxes in the country, and I've long said that if they ever realize that they can do the same job over the internet from a beachfront mansion in safe, sunny, income tax-free Florida, New York City will be done for. I kind of suspect that day is drawing very close. Incidentally, I don't think I have to point out the prevailing political views in the least free and the most free states and how those have created the current situation, with residents of the former fleeing to the latter in droves. But just to show you that Democrat policies can always make a bad situation terrible, the rampant crime in New York City created by woke DAs and defunded police, well, it's about to get worse, a lot worse, all thanks to the Biden open borders policy. New York Mayor Eric Adams announced that because of the high cost of dealing with all of the illegal immigrants, the already strained to the limit budgets for police, sanitation, and other public necessities are going to be cut by 5%. They're also going to be slashing the budgets for education and museums and cultural institutions and freezing hiring in such departments as education, health, aging, and parks. It's gotten so bad that even rapper Cardi B went on a foul-mouthed social media tirade, complaining that the dirty city is going to get even dirtier.
And a $5 million budget cut in sanitation. Of a budget cut in sanitation, we're going to be drowning with rats. I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. Because how is there a $100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation? Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about, like, yeah, we could fund 2 wars.
She's not wrong. But just remember, Cardi, you voted for that. And if I were a betting man, I'd just about bet the farm that next November, a lot of New Yorkers who are complaining about the crime, illegal immigration, budget cuts, and more will turn around and vote for more of it. I don't get it. That said, it sure seems like a lot of people outside of New York are not going to vote for more of it. The latest NBC News poll shows that President Biden's approval rating, well, it's been falling all since January. It was 46% then. Now it's at its lowest level ever at 40%. Nearly 2/3 of independents disapprove of the job that he's doing. The biggest driver of the drop, and this is a surprise to most, is from young voters, those aged 18 to 34. Their approval of Biden has plummeted from 46% in September down to 31%. You heard me right, 31%. Of course, as we've seen recently, that just could be because so many of the Democrats' young radical base are Hamas-supporting anti-Semites, and Biden is supporting Israel. Joe Biden's caught in an electoral catch-22 because he needs their votes to win, but if he does what they want, he won't get any votes from the non-crazy wing of his own party. I believe it was Kurt Schlichter who pointed out that the Democrats are in trouble because, well, a large part of their base suddenly wants to kill another large part of their base. That's rather hard for even the nimblest politician to straddle. And on that note, this weekend brought some election results that suggest that from the U.S. to Argentina, voters might just be fed up to the gills with leftist misrule. On Saturday, there were 3 statewide elections in Louisiana, and let's hope that they are a harbinger of what's coming in 2024. Republican Jeff Landry previously won the primary by a wide enough margin that there won't even be a runoff or gubernatorial election. And on Saturday, all 3 of the Trump-backed Republican candidates for Attorney General, Secretary of State, and State Treasurer won their races by 2-to-1 margins of around 66% to 33%. And in a resounding rebuke to creeping South American socialism, voters in Argentina elected libertarian outsider, congressman, and economist Javier Milei of the Liberty Advances Party as their new president. It was a 55 to 45% landslide. Voters were just sick of the ruling far-left Peronist party, corruption, poverty, job insecurity, and runaway inflation. Argentina has defaulted on their debt 3 times just since 2001. Their inflation has hit 124% in August, and it's projected at around 142% right now. On the other hand, our own media once again shows their hand in how much they hate American values by just the way they're talking about Milei. Milei is a right-wing libertarian populist who's adamantly anti-socialist and anti-communist, and he's pro-small government. He's a defender of Western values, a staunch ally of Israel. He's promised to end the central bank, adopt the U.S. dollar as an official currency, and distance Argentina from rogue communist nations like China. He's someone who wants to ally his South American country with the U.S., and yet the media refer to him as far right, an anarchist, and they pursue ridiculous allegations in his personal life, and so on. But you know the story. Sounds a lot like how they talk about Donald Trump.
A far-right outsider compared to former President Donald Trump has been elected to president of Argentina.
Coming from the far right, Javier Milei.
A far-right politician.
The far-right politician.
Far-right candidate.
Far-right outsider.
Wielding a chainsaw to symbolize his war on government spending, threatening vital public services.
He has absolutely no experience.
Milei's controversial tirades against the political class have drawn comparisons to neighbor Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro, as well as former President Donald Trump.
Maybe these anti-democracy forces will, in the end, get overwhelmed. But that didn't happen in Argentina, not even close.
So why wouldn't our American media have a favorable view of someone who loves their country? In case the answer isn't clear, it's because they hate American values, and they love the values of big government that got Argentina into the mess they were in. In his victory speech, he called for the ouster of all current politicians and for Argentina to once again embrace the ideas of freedom.
Que se entienda bien, la situación de Argentina es crítica. Los cambios que nuestro país necesita son drásticos. No hay lugar para gradualismo, no hay lugar para la tibieza, no hay lugar para medias tintas. Es fundamental que todos aquellos que queremos volver a abrazar las ideas de la libertad trabajemos juntos a partir del 10 de diciembre y podamos darle respuesta a una sociedad que ha sido abandonada por la clase política las últimas décadas.
Well, you can see why he's been compared to Trump, and not just because of his interesting hairstyle. This is someone to whom we on the right side of the aisle should pay close attention. As I said before, Argentina has defaulted on their debt 3 times since 2001, and their inflation is in the triple digits. Fixing things there is a monumental task. But if Milei is successful in righting the Argentinian economic ship, it's going to be the highest endorsement of conservative values ever in the modern era. I'm cautiously optimistic that I'm going to like this guy. Well, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please help us get to 1 million subscribers. Here's how you can do that. If you subscribe to the channel below, leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments section. And if you want more of my news analysis and commentary, be sure to sign up for my newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com. It's totally free. That'll do it for this edition of The Breakdown. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.